ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to speak about a subject that is often hidden in the corners of our hearts, the story of a woman with no friend. It's not a topic we often discuss, but perhaps one that many can relate to more than they would like to admit. Imagine for a moment a woman strong, capable, independent. She rises each morning, manages the day with grace, and handles the challenges life throws her way. But when the world quiets down, when the noise of daily tasks fades, there's something more subtle. She begins to notice the absence of a friend. Friendship is one of the most fundamental aspects of human connection, providing a unique space for support, understanding, and belonging. It is a bond that transcends time, geography, and social status, offering a sense of companionship and emotional security. When we consider the importance of friendship in life, we recognize its power to positively impact our emotional and psychological well-being. A true friend is someone who sees us for who we are, flaws, imperfections, dreams, and aspirations, and accepts us unconditionally. In moments of happiness, they celebrate with us, and in moments of sorrow, they provide a shoulder to lean on. In essence, friends are the anchors in our lives, helping us stay grounded in the face of life's challenges. At the core of friendship is emotional support. Life is full of ups and downs, and when we navigate these turbulent waters alone, it can feel overwhelming. But when we have a friend by our side, the weight of those challenges often feels lighter. Whether it's a career setback, a relationship struggle, or personal loss, having someone who listens without judgment, offers advice when needed, and provides encouragement can make all the difference. The presence of a friend during hard times serves as a reminder that we are not alone and that we have someone who genuinely cares about our well-being. Equally important, friendships foster a sense of belonging. As human beings, we are inherently social creatures, and our need for connection is deeply rooted in our nature. We crave validation and acceptance from others, and through our friendships, we find a place where we belong. Having a close friend means having someone who understands our quirks, appreciates our unique qualities, and loves us for who we truly are. It provides a safe space where we can be ourselves without fear of judgment, and in turn, we can offer the same acceptance and understanding to others. This sense of belonging is vital for our mental health, as it gives us a sense of identity and security in the world. Moreover, friendship nurtures our sense of self-worth. The relationships we have with our friends often mirror the way we view ourselves. When we receive love, care, and support from a friend, it reinforces our belief that we are worthy of love and care. On the flip side, when we lack meaningful friendships, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. We may start to question whether we are worthy of friendship or why others don't want to connect with us. This can lead to a negative cycle of loneliness and low self-esteem. However, having close friends can break this cycle, as they provide constant reminders of our worth and encourage us to believe in ourselves. Additionally, friendships contribute to our happiness and overall life satisfaction. The simple act of sharing joy, laughter, and experiences with a friend brings a sense of fulfillment that is hard to replicate. Whether it's reminiscing about old memories, traveling together, or even just enjoying a quiet evening, friends add richness to our lives that makes the ordinary extraordinary. These moments of connection create lasting memories that we carry with us and cherish for years to come. Friendships also offer opportunities for personal growth, as they challenge us to be better people, whether through constructive feedback, different perspectives, or shared experiences. But perhaps one of the most significant aspects of friendship is the role it plays in our ability to cope with life's challenges. In times of crisis, a friend is someone who can help us navigate the storm. They offer comfort when we grieve, give us courage when we feel weak, and provide clarity when we feel lost. A friend's presence in such moments can provide us with the strength to move forward, reminding us that we can face anything with support by our side. In this way, friendship becomes not just a source of joy, but a pillar of resilience that helps us weather the hardest of times. In conclusion, friendship is not just an optional aspect of life, it is an essential part of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It is a source of comfort, strength, and growth, offering a foundation of support that helps us navigate the complexities of life. We may not always realize how much we need our friends until we experience moments of loneliness or hardship, but once we understand the power of friendship, we come to appreciate just how integral it is to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Loneliness is a complex and deeply human experience, one that can be felt even in the presence of others. For a woman without a friend, the sense of absence can be particularly acute, affecting her sense of identity, emotional well-being, and perception of the world around her. It's not simply the absence of companionship, but the absence of connection, a deep, meaningful bond that is often taken for granted until it's no longer there. The feeling of being alone, even in a crowd, can create an overwhelming sense of isolation that impacts every aspect of life. When there is no friend to share moments of joy, triumph, or even hardship, it can feel as if the world is a place where one is merely existing rather than truly living. The day to day routines become mechanical, driven by obligations rather than genuine desire or passion. Social events, while enjoyable to some, may only serve to highlight the absence of that special connection. Without a friend, there is no one to share the inside jokes, the comforting silences, or the unspoken understanding that exists between people who have formed a bond over time. These moments, so common for many, become distant and out of reach for someone walking this solitary path. The emptiness can also manifest in more subtle, insidious ways. A woman without a friend might question her worth or wonder if there is something inherently wrong with her that keeps people at a distance. Friendships often serve as mirrors, reflecting not only the qualities that we like about ourselves, but also the areas where we need growth. When there is no one to provide this reflection, self-doubt can creep in. She might feel invisible, overlooked, or misunderstood, disconnected from the world around her, and perhaps even from herself. The absence of friendship can create a narrative where one believes that they are unworthy of companionship or that they simply don't fit into the social fabric of life. Moreover, the loneliness a woman feels without a friend can begin to feel isolating in ways that are difficult to articulate. It's not always about being alone, but about the lack of someone who truly understands her. A friend is often the one person who sees the true depth of our character, who knows our dreams, our fears, our habits, and our desires. Without that level of connection, life can feel shallow, as if interactions with others are only surface-level exchanges that never quite reach the heart of who we are. Conversations may revolve around small talk, but what is missing is the authenticity and vulnerability that a true friendship brings. Without a close companion, a woman might long for someone who can be her confidant, the person she can turn to for advice, encouragement, or simply to share a moment of laughter or tears. This type of loneliness is not always easy to explain to others. While people might see a woman going through life seemingly independent and successful, they may not realize the quiet ache of her heart, the yearning for deeper connection. In a world that often praises self-sufficiency and independence, admitting to feeling alone can be seen as a vulnerability, something to be hidden or downplayed. But this is the reality of being without a friend, the invisible weight of loneliness that doesn't always show on the surface but is felt deeply within. The lack of friendship also brings about a heightened sense of vulnerability. Relationships with friends provide a safety net, a sense that no matter what happens, there is someone there who will stand by your side. Without that, there's a constant awareness of how fragile life can be. If something goes wrong, whether it's a personal crisis or a simple moment of difficulty, there's no one to call, no one to confide in, and no one to help carry the emotional burden. The isolation that comes with this absence can be suffocating, leading to increased stress and anxiety. A lack of emotional support means that difficult moments may feel even more overwhelming, as if you are facing the storm alone with no shelter in sight. The feeling of being without a friend also complicates the process of seeking help when it is needed. Often, a woman without a close friend may feel reluctant to reach out, thinking that others have their own lives to deal with or that they don't want to burden anyone with their problems. The lack of close relationships can make asking for help feel like a foreign concept, even though it is precisely in these moments of isolation that one most needs to connect with others. This cycle of withdrawal and silence can perpetuate the loneliness, making it even harder to break free from it. Ultimately, the loneliness of being without a friend is a quiet, powerful force that impacts every aspect of life. It creates a sense of separation, not only from others, but also from one's true self. Without the companionship and support of a friend, a woman can feel as though she is merely going through the motions of life, disconnected from the world and unsure of her place within it. However, recognizing and acknowledging this loneliness is the first step toward breaking free from it. It's important to remember that the absence of a friend does not define one's worth or limit one's potential for connection. Even in the depths of loneliness, there is always the possibility for new beginnings and meaningful relationships. The emotional and psychological impact of being without a friend can be profound and far-reaching, affecting a woman's sense of self-worth, mental health, and overall outlook on life. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and friendships are crucial to our emotional and psychological well-being. These relationships provide us with validation, empathy, and a sense of belonging, three fundamental pillars that help support our mental health. Without a friend, a woman can feel as though these emotional needs are unmet, leading to a range of negative psychological effects that can impact her life in both subtle and overt ways. One of the most immediate impacts of having no friend is the feeling of isolation. Human beings are wired to seek connection and companionship, and when this need goes unmet, it can create a void that feels impossible to fill. While being alone occasionally is natural and can be beneficial for reflection or personal growth, prolonged loneliness can lead to feelings of emptiness and disconnection. A woman without a friend might find herself withdrawing from social situations not because she desires solitude, but because she feels that she has no one with whom to share her experiences. This isolation can make it difficult to find joy in everyday moments, as there is no one to share the highs and lows of life with, no one to offer comfort during difficult times. The absence of a friend can also lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Friendship offers a mirror through which we see ourselves reflected not only in how we are perceived by others, but also in how we perceive ourselves. Our friends often serve as a source of validation, helping us feel worthy, loved, and accepted. When there is no friend to offer this feedback, a woman may begin to question her worth. She might wonder if there is something wrong with her or if she is undeserving of the companionship and connection that others seem to effortlessly find. This can lead to a downward spiral of negative thoughts where feelings of unworthiness and insecurity take root. Without a friend to offer encouragement and support, it becomes harder to silence these doubts and to remember one's inherent value. Psychologically, the absence of a close, supportive friend can also lead to increased levels of anxiety and stress. Life is full of challenges, and facing them alone can feel overwhelming. When there is no one to confide in, to share the burden with, or to help offer perspective, the weight of everyday stressors can become magnified. Whether it's work pressure, family responsibilities, or personal struggles, facing these challenges without a friend by one's side can make them seem insurmountable. Having someone to talk to, even if they don't have all the answers, can help reduce stress by offering a sense of emotional relief. Without this outlet, a woman may bottle up her feelings, leading to emotional exhaustion and burnout. The loneliness associated with having no friend can also have long-term effects on mental health. Prolonged isolation and a lack of meaningful social connections have been linked to a higher risk of depression and anxiety. When we are isolated, our brains experience elevated levels of stress, which can lead to a range of mental health issues, including depression. A woman without a friend may find herself sinking into a depressive state, where feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and fatigue become pervasive. She might begin to lose interest in activities she once enjoyed or withdraw even further from the world. The lack of social support during these times can make it much harder to seek help or find a way out of the emotional darkness. In addition to emotional distress, the absence of a friend can impact a woman's ability to form new connections. Friendship is often a gateway to broader social circles, and without a close friend to introduce her to others or share experiences with, it can become difficult to make new friends. Social anxiety can also set in, where a woman may fear rejection or feel uncertain about how to engage with others. This creates a vicious cycle where the lack of one close relationship leads to greater difficulty forming new ones, perpetuating the feeling of being alone and disconnected from others. Despite these challenges, it's important to acknowledge that the emotional and psychological impact of having no friend does not define a person's value. It is possible to overcome the pain of loneliness, and seeking help is a crucial step. Professional support, such as therapy, can help a woman address feelings of isolation and build strategies for improving her mental health. It is also important to remember that friendships take time to develop, and it is never too late to reach out and connect with others. While the absence of a friend can be difficult to navigate, it is a situation that can change with effort, patience, and a willingness to be open to new experiences. In conclusion, the emotional and psychological effects of being without a friend are not just about the lack of companionship. They are deeply tied to feelings of isolation, inadequacy, stress, and potential mental health challenges. Friendships are integral to our emotional resilience, and the absence of one can make navigating life's challenges feel significantly harder. However, it is essential to recognize that these feelings, though intense, are temporary and can be addressed with support, self-compassion, and a commitment to building meaningful relationships. A woman without a friend is not alone in her struggles, and with time she can find the connections that will restore her sense of belonging, value, and joy. The challenges of building and maintaining friendships in today's fast-paced, highly connected world are more significant than we often realize. In many ways, the pressures of modern life make it more difficult than ever to form deep, meaningful relationships. A woman without a close friend might find herself confronting a series of barriers, both internal and external, that prevent her from connecting with others in the way she desires. These obstacles can range from time constraints to emotional vulnerability, fear of rejection, or even past experiences of betrayal. Together, these challenges can make the process of building new friendships feel daunting and overwhelming, but understanding and addressing these barriers can be the first step toward overcoming them. One of the most significant challenges to building friendships is the lack of time. In today's society, where everyone seems to be juggling work, family, personal commitments, and social obligations, finding time to nurture relationships can feel impossible. A woman might find herself so caught up in the demands of daily life that making time for new connections takes a back seat. Between career responsibilities, household duties, and the care of loved ones, there is little room left for socializing or meeting new people. Even if she does manage to make time, the energy required to invest in building a new friendship can seem overwhelming, particularly when there are other priorities that demand attention. The digital age, while making it easier to connect with others, can also create a sense of superficiality in relationships. Social media platforms, while offering opportunities to stay in touch, often encourage brief, surface-level interactions rather than deep, meaningful conversations. It can be tempting to rely on online connections, which may not provide the emotional support and intimacy that a true friendship offers. A woman who struggles to find a close friend may find herself caught in the cycle of virtual acquaintances and digital interactions, which can leave her feeling even more disconnected. Although these online platforms can be a starting point, they often do not provide the depth and authenticity that real-life friendships require. Emotional vulnerability is another barrier that can make building friendships difficult. Many women have been hurt by past relationships, whether friendships or romantic, leading to a fear of opening up to others. The pain of betrayal or disappointment can leave lasting scars, making it hard to trust new people or let them into one's life. This emotional guard, while protective in the short term, can ultimately prevent the deep connections that are necessary for true friendship. A woman who has been hurt in the past might be hesitant to share her thoughts, feelings, or even her vulnerabilities with others, fearing that doing so will lead to more hurt. The fear of rejection or the experience of not being fully accepted can create a barrier to forming new friendships, leaving a woman to struggle with loneliness despite her desire for connection. Similarly, the fear of rejection can be a significant barrier. Building a friendship requires a level of risk, putting yourself out there, extending an invitation, and allowing someone to see the real you. This vulnerability can be especially difficult for someone who has been rejected or abandoned before. The prospect of trying again only to face more rejection can feel discouraging and emotionally exhausting. A woman might wonder if she is doing something wrong or if there is something inherently unappealing about her that makes it hard to form connections. This fear of not being good enough or of being judged can cause her to hold back, never taking the first step to reach out or engage with others. In some cases, past experiences of betrayal can complicate the process of building new friendships. A woman who has experienced toxic or one-sided friendships may carry emotional baggage that affects her ability to trust others. She might have been let down by a former friend who broke promises, shared her secrets, or made her feel unimportant. These experiences can create a fear of repeating the same mistakes, leading to reluctance in forming new connections. Even when opportunities to meet new people arise, the weight of past hurts can prevent her from fully engaging in the process, leaving her stuck in a cycle of distrust and emotional distance. Another challenge is the difficulty of finding people who share similar values and interests. Forming deep friendships often requires common ground, shared experiences, values, or passions. A woman without a close friend may struggle to find individuals who truly align with her on a personal level. Even when she does meet people who seem to share some commonalities, it can be hard to know how to bridge the gap from acquaintance to genuine friend. Social circles can be difficult to break into, and even if someone is interested in becoming friends, it can be hard to know where to start. Often, this requires vulnerability and effort from both sides, which can be challenging if one person is uncertain or hesitant to make the first move. Finally, a woman might simply feel that she doesn't have the right social skills or confidence to form meaningful friendships. In a world that often values extroversion and social prowess, Introverted or shy individuals may feel overlooked or underprepared when it comes to connecting with others. Making small talk, reaching out to new people, and initiating invitations can seem intimidating. These skills often don't come naturally to everyone, and for someone who feels socially awkward or anxious, the task of building friendships can feel like an insurmountable challenge. Despite all these challenges, it's important to remember that building meaningful friendships is a process that takes time, effort, and a willingness to be vulnerable. By acknowledging the barriers that exist, a woman can begin to address them with patience and self-compassion. She can find ways to carve out time for socializing, be intentional about the quality of connection she seeks, and work through her fears of vulnerability and rejection. Through small, consistent steps, whether reaching out to an old acquaintance, joining new social groups, or simply being open to new experiences, she can begin to build the connections that she desires. Though the path may not always be easy, the reward of genuine friendship is well worth the effort. A woman without a friend can find herself in a space of solitude, which can at first seem daunting or even discouraging. However, this solitude can also present an invaluable opportunity for self-awareness and reflection. While friendships provide external support and connection, self-awareness allows a woman to reconnect with herself, understand her own needs, desires, and values, and in turn foster a deeper relationship with others. Being without a friend doesn't mean that life is lacking meaning or fulfillment. Instead, it can be a chance to reflect on what a truly meaningful friendship would look like and how one can begin to build connections in ways that align with her most authentic self. Self-awareness is the first key element of this process. Without the influence or opinions of others, a woman has the unique space to tune into her own thoughts and feelings. This time alone can be a powerful catalyst for understanding her own emotions, goals, and inner desires. She might reflect on why her friendships have been difficult to cultivate in the past, and perhaps identify patterns of behavior that have either contributed to the formation of strong bonds or created obstacles to connection. It's an opportunity to analyze what qualities are important in a friend, whether it's loyalty, empathy, shared interests, or simply mutual respect. This deep reflection can shed light on what she values most in relationships and help clarify her expectations for future friendships. Additionally, being without a friend gives a woman the space to cultivate a sense of independence and self-reliance that can, in turn, make her more comfortable and confident when building new relationships. It is easy to become dependent on the validation or company of others, especially in times of loneliness. However, self-awareness involves understanding that true fulfillment comes from within, and that one's worth is not solely dependent on others. By reconnecting with her own passions, interests, and strengths, a woman can reinforce her self-esteem and remind herself that she is enough, even in the absence of close friendships. This sense of self-sufficiency will not only bolster her emotional well-being, but also prepare her to engage in relationships from a place of strength and self-assurance. This reflection process can also reveal insights into why previous friendships may have ended or why they didn't form as expected. Perhaps there were unhealthy dynamics that need to be addressed, or maybe there was a lack of clear communication or mutual understanding. By understanding the role that she plays in her own friendships, a woman can identify patterns or behaviors that may need to be adjusted or cultivated in order to create more meaningful connections in the future. For example, she may realize that she has a tendency to avoid vulnerability or that she has been too focused on pleasing others at the expense of her own needs. This realization can be empowering as it opens the door to change and growth. Moreover, self-awareness also offers a chance for a woman to discover her own passions and interests outside of the context of friendships. Sometimes when we are focused on cultivating relationships with others, we can lose touch with what truly brings us joy or fulfillment. Solitude gives her the chance to reconnect with hobbies, activities, or causes that spark her passion. Whether it's through creative outlets like writing, painting, or music, or more active pursuits like hiking, volunteering, or learning new skills, these solo activities help build a sense of purpose and identity that doesn't rely on external validation. In turn, this heightened sense of purpose can serve as a magnet for like-minded individuals who share similar interests or values, making it easier to forge connections based on authentic compatibility rather than a desire for companionship alone. Being without a friend also allows a woman to learn how to nurture her own well-being. She can experiment with self-care practices such as meditation, mindfulness, exercise, or journaling and discover what helps her feel grounded and at peace. Through these practices, she not only develops a better understanding of herself, but also learns to care for her own emotional and mental health. This self-nurturing will eventually enable her to be a more emotionally available and supportive friend, when she does meet new people. Relationships require balance, and when a woman learns to care for herself first, she is better able to show up as her true self in future friendships, offering her love and support without the expectation of receiving something in return. In this phase of reflection and growth, a woman can also learn the importance of setting boundaries. Self-awareness allows her to understand what she needs in a relationship, whether it's space, time, honesty, or emotional safety, and gives her the confidence to communicate these needs effectively. Setting boundaries is crucial for building healthy, fulfilling friendships, as it ensures that both parties are comfortable and respected within the relationship. Learning this skill during a period of solitude can make her more prepared to engage in relationships that are both nurturing and sustainable. Additionally, this time without a friend may prompt her to look at her past friendships and learn from them. Perhaps she has experienced loss, conflict, or misunderstandings that have made her cautious about forming new relationships. Reflecting on these past experiences without judgment can help her understand the lessons they offered. She might discover the qualities that she values most in friends, such as reliability, kindness, or shared values, and develop a clearer vision of the type of friendships she wants to pursue moving forward. In conclusion, while the absence of a friend can feel painful and isolating, it is also an opportunity for profound personal growth. Through self-awareness and reflection, a woman can rediscover her passions, gain clarity on what she values in relationships, and develop a deeper understanding of her own emotional needs. This process of growth not only helps her become more confident and fulfilled on her own, but also prepares her to engage in new friendships with a sense of authenticity, resilience, and strength. The time spent in solitude can ultimately lead to a deeper connection with oneself and create a solid foundation for building meaningful, lasting relationships in the future. The process of finding new friends when one feels disconnected from their current social circle or lacks the support of close relationships can be a challenging and sometimes daunting task. However, it is also an essential part of human growth and connection. While loneliness can often leave a woman feeling isolated, it also presents the opportunity to explore new social avenues, meet new people, and ultimately build relationships that are both fulfilling and supportive. The key to successfully finding new friends lies in breaking free from the cycle of loneliness and taking proactive steps to open oneself up to new experiences and social interactions. One of the first and most important steps in overcoming loneliness and finding new friends is shifting the mindset from viewing oneself as isolated to viewing oneself as open to connection. Loneliness can often lead to a sense of disempowerment, where a woman feels as though she is waiting for friendship to come to her rather than actively seeking it. This feeling of waiting can often prolong the loneliness, as the world around her may not be aware of her desire for connection. By adopting a mindset of openness and possibility, a woman can begin to actively pursue opportunities for friendship, whether it be through her current social circle or by stepping outside of her comfort zone to meet new people. This mindset shift allows her to see her loneliness as a temporary state, one that can be overcome through proactive efforts to engage with others. And exploring new environments and communities can also be a powerful tool in finding new friends, whether it's through joining clubs, attending local events, taking classes, or volunteering for causes she cares about. These activities provide a natural setting in which to meet like-minded individuals. Engaging in group activities or communities that align with personal interests and values offers a foundation for forming genuine connections. When we are involved in activities that we enjoy and care about, it's easier to bond with others who share similar passions and experiences. A woman who is open to exploring new social spaces is more likely to find people with whom she has shared interests, which can be the starting point for building meaningful relationships. Moreover, participating in new experiences allows a woman to step outside of her routine, breaking free from the constraints of her daily life and finding fresh ways to interact with the world around her. Traveling, attending social gatherings, or pursuing new hobbies can lead to unexpected encounters with people who are also interested in forming new connections. By stepping out of her comfort zone, a woman not only gives herself the opportunity to meet potential friends, but also allows herself to grow as a person, learning new skills and broadening her horizons in ways that will naturally attract like-minded individuals. Building friendships also requires putting in the effort to maintain and nurture relationships once they are initiated. Finding new friends isn't just about meeting new people, it's about fostering meaningful connections that can stand the test of time. After meeting someone who seems to share similar interests or values, it's essential to continue to invest time and energy into developing the relationship. This involves reaching out to new acquaintances, arranging meetups, and being intentional about staying in touch. Small gestures, such as sending a message to check in, inviting someone to join an activity, or simply making time for regular conversations, help to solidify the bond and ensure that it grows stronger. Building a solid foundation of trust and mutual respect takes time, and these consistent efforts are key to transforming acquaintances into true friends. Vulnerability plays a central role in developing strong friendships. When forming new relationships, it is crucial to be open and authentic. A woman who has been without a close friend for some time may feel hesitant or guarded when it comes to being vulnerable with new people, particularly if she has been hurt in the past. However, vulnerability is a cornerstone of meaningful connection. Sharing personal stories, feelings, and experiences allows others to understand her on a deeper level and creates a space where mutual support and trust can flourish. By allowing herself to be vulnerable, a woman opens the door for others to do the same, leading to more authentic and fulfilling friendships. In addition to vulnerability, empathy plays a critical role in forming deep connections with others. True friendship is based on the ability to listen, understand, and support one another through both good times and bad. A woman who actively seeks to understand the emotions and experiences of those around her will naturally attract people who are similarly inclined to offer support and understanding. Being empathetic means showing genuine interest in others' lives, offering encouragement when needed, and being present during moments of joy or sorrow. It's through these shared experiences that relationships are built, and over time, this empathy nurtures lasting and meaningful bonds. The digital age has also provided new avenues for meeting people and forming friendships, especially for those who may feel isolated in their immediate environment. Online communities, forums, and social media platforms can serve as a bridge to meeting like-minded individuals who share common interests, hobbies, or values. While online friendships are not a replacement for in-person relationships, they can serve as a valuable resource for building connections when physical proximity is a limitation. Virtual spaces offer a way to interact with people from diverse backgrounds and locations, providing a wealth of opportunities to expand one's social circle. Additionally, it is essential to maintain patience throughout this journey. Building strong, lasting friendships doesn't happen overnight, and it requires ongoing effort and commitment. A woman seeking to overcome loneliness and find new friends must allow herself the space to experience this process without placing too much pressure on herself for immediate results. Each new interaction, each new experience brings with it the potential for growth and connection. It's important to remember that friendship is a journey, and the path toward finding meaningful relationships is not always linear. In conclusion, overcoming loneliness and finding new friends is a multifaceted process that involves self-awareness, a mindset of openness, active participation in new social environments, vulnerability, empathy, and patience. While it may be challenging at times, it's important to remember that the opportunity for connection is always available. By taking proactive steps to meet new people, invest in relationships, and foster authentic connections, a woman can successfully navigate the journey from loneliness to meaningful, lasting friendships. The process may take time, but the rewards of genuine, supportive friendships are well worth the effort.